The Shudra are those who build the basis for all activity. We cannot have a merchant caste. We cannot have a warrior caste. We cannot have a priest caste until we have that foundation set. This is how things operate in a practical manner within this present age. So you have to have the farmer, or nobody's getting fed. You have to have the factory worker, or whatever. It's the blue collar foundation that keeps things turning, just like the
Mhm.
Alabama song. You work a 40-hour week for a living, just to send it on down the line. And here's the thing: the Shudra being associated with the Muladhara, the Shudra people are abused quite often in this age because they are the closest to what we understand on a fundamental level to be the divine feminine seat, which would be
Mhm.
the Muladhara, the seat of Shakti, with our vertical arrangement of consciousness. Shiva at the Sahasrara, Shakti at the Muladhara. If you have a world that is magically arranged to be patriarchal, then within that world, within that framework, anything that is associated with the earth, with that which is carnal, with the chthonic world, becomes inferior. It is considered to be less than.
Mhm.
It is the fallen condition of the tooth and claw. And so that's why within the Abrahamic tradition, women are kept in chains, but also the carnal nature of man is considered to be inherently sinful and wrong and has to be stomped out. You
Mhm.
stomp on the lowly people. There's nothing in Abrahamism for the common people except for slavery. And that's how the system has always been arranged. From the beginning, the church has enslaved the Shudra and has taken all of their natural tendencies, told them you're bad, you're wrong, and the only way that you can be good is to bow down to us, to the priest caste. So Abrahamism is a Brahmin culture that has degenerated to extreme tyranny. And within the Shudra culture, our legs, we have to have freedom to not care so much about the conceptual quality of life. So, this is a simple existence, one that is deeply connected with the natural cycles of the land. This is the natural condition of man. So, this is getting out and sweating and bleeding and crying into the soil. You've got to get dirt on your hands to understand the condition of the Shudra. You
Mhm.
have to work hard and use your body. There's a physicality to it, which is the prime materiality of the Muladhara. And there are some people who don't give a shit about college. They don't care about philosophy. They don't want to be burdened with all of these conceptual questions. They don't want to be telling people what to do. They don't want to be managers. They don't want to be bankers. They don't want to have anything to do with that
Maybe
world.
maybe this guy.
Yeah, Aryan Avengers, what the fuck is this shit? Well, this
Maybe
shit
he's a
is
Shudra.
exactly what you're fucking hearing right now.
Yeah, maybe he's a Shudra.
Maybe
Don't need to
you'll
hear
learn
it.
something.
Yeah.
um, but there's a raw quality to this, to the condition of the Shudra, and they express themselves with simplicity. So what you see is what you get, and I deeply appreciate that quality.
Mhm.
There's nothing inferior about that quality to me. So yes, this is the salt of the earth. This is the people of the land, and
Mhm.
those people within a caste system that facilitates their dharma. Those people would be allowed to just live in balance with nature and not have to be so concerned with what's happening politically, what's happening philosophically. But what happens in modern democracy? Does democracy liberate the common people? No, I would argue that democracy places the common people into a condition that is very unnatural to them. It is
Mhm.
not natural for the common man to have an opinion on statecraft. Statecraft is a highly technical science. The same with economy. The average man cannot understand, nor should he be asked to understand, the principles of economics. But he's asked constantly, and he's told that he is not a responsible citizen, a valuable member of the social body, unless he votes, unless
Yeah.
he has an opinion on political economy.
Mm-hmm.
And that, to me, is a terribly adharmic condition. It's immoral from my personal morals, not universal morality, but my understanding of what is right and wrong. It's wrong to tell a common man or woman who wants to live in simple harmony with nature that you need to turn your fucking TV on to CNN or Fox News or whatever. You need to get on your Twitter stream and constantly observe the political news cycle so that you have an opinion. And if you don't have an opinion, then you're irresponsible and you're not getting involved. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when we collect resources and we make people fight over resources through voting and the democratic process, we're not creating synergy between the people, we're creating more division. So the Shudra, to put it simply, in Shudra terms, this is the working class foundation that lives in balance with nature, wants to be absorbed into the natural process, and wants to be left alone to just live a simple life. And they have incarnated within this world for that purpose, to reduce conceptualization and maximize direct active experience with the material world. That's the
Mm-hmm.
Shudra.
Beautifully said. And something that I want to point out that you mentioned, how the modern structure of our society doesn't allow individuals such as this, and we'll go through all of them, how it constricts them in some way, shape, or form. Like the Shudra are one example I like to bring up. In the US, if you don't send your kid to school, you're going to fucking jail. You're seriously going to go to jail. Like if you're like, okay, man, my kid just loves fishing and farming. He don't need to learn geometry, trigonometry. He don't need to learn any of this stuff. He just wants to get deeply, attuned towards the land. He wants to take over this farm when he's done, and I'm not forcing him. No, if you don't send him to school, you're actually committing a crime. That is a crime against, your kid, because he's got to know how to vote. He's got to know this. He's got to know that. Like, again, it's constricting you to be a cog in the machine rather than allowing you to fulfill your nature in a way that not only fulfills you, but also fulfills society. So the Shudra people, like you just said, are very, very misrepresented in the modern times right now. Because again, they're probably not watching the stream. The guy that commented, "What the fuck is this shit?" Might be a Shudra, and maybe he can't understand what we're saying, and that's totally fine. But individuals who do understand this, it is our job to kind of bring this up into light, how individuals that are in these common states of existence are not being represented properly, and they're just being pulled into directions where they're not happy with their existence because they just want a common existence. They don't care about the complex topics of, as you said right there, news and voting and economics and tax brackets and all this stuff. They're just trying to kick back, do what they're supposed to do, work in the land, which is not something easy. It's not like, oh man, they're low lives that don't do anything. But these individuals are supposed to work in a simplified manner. When we say simplified, again, it doesn't mean easy. It means simplified as in it's tangible. It's right there. They're not conceptualizing things so much. They're not so much in their mind. They're, as you said right there, their consciousness is rooted more towards their Muladhara chakra, the root state of consciousness, because they are closely connected to the earth. That's why we call it the foundation. That's why if you look into that analogy within the Rig Veda, it is your lower body closer to your feet. Your feet is touching the ground, touching the earth, touching Shakti, the divine feminine force. So that is a great breakdown of the Shudra caste. For the full lecture, click the link posted in the pinned comment down below.